coming on? Yeah. So we're live.
Okay.
All right, so give a minute for it to get adjusted. Hi, everyone. This is Christina. She's my special guest today. And as promised, we're at a place with a great view. So I see Monica here. You can hear us, I'm assuming? I hope somebody can say, yes, we can hear you. That would be great. Good. So we are at a bar high above Piazza Navona, and there's just a gorgeous view from here, and I will show you in just a second. But we came here today early because I don't know how much longer we'll be able to leave the house, because Rome is getting, well, no, I'm sorry, Italy is getting more and more strict with the virus stuff. So we are waiting to see. Oh, there's Gloria. Hi, Gloria.
Hi.
We're waiting to see what happens with Rome. And also, it gets dark here really early. So around 5, the sun will have set, and it'll be too dark to do something like this from a rooftop. And it's getting cold, and so rooftop season is coming to an end. So it's 4 o'clock here right now, and that's a crazy time to have a drink. Like, there's usually this bar, every table is full, and right now it's just us and some girl that just graduated and a couple guys. But it'll be nice for the sunset, and we'll be able to show you that in a few minutes. But I'm going to stand up and hold on. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see the sunset. You can see some churches over there. Behind that umbrella is St. Peter's Basilica. We are right under the Church of St. Agnes's dome. So that's St. Agnes. And if you were watching Tipsy Tuesday last week, it started right down there in Piazza Navona. You can see Piazza Navona below us. You can see the Tribunale, that's the courthouse. That steeple there is the German church. You can see the church where St. Monica is buried. There's a little bell tower there, that's her church. From here you can also see the back of San Luigi. So that facade, that's, I guess, the rear facade of the church where all the Caravaggios are. And then just beyond that would be the Trevi Fountain. You can see that small dome there, that is the Pantheon. And beautiful dome there by Borromini. You cannot see the Colosseum here. You can kind of see St. John Lateran way in the distance. You can see the Victor Emmanuel monument there, the big white thing. The bell tower from Capitol Hill. And back to the Church of St. Agnes. So, I'll put this down. I'll turn you back around. I'll show you the place again in a bit. But as I was saying, Christina's joining me today. So welcome to Tipsy Tuesday. This is your first time on Tipsy Tuesday.
Yes. On this side of the camera.
Yeah, she's been on the other side of the camera a few times. And last week when we did the walk around, she was there. She just didn't want to be on camera. Oh, our drinks are arriving. Let's see it.
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's it. All right, so I got a Negroni. Christina, what did you get?
Very berry.
Very berry. No idea what that is. Cheers. And I assume nobody back home is drinking because it's like 10 o'clock in the morning in
Might be
Atlanta.
drinking.
Could be. Wouldn't blame you. This is really strong.
This is very berry.
Can I try it?
Yeah, it's good. It's rosemary.
That's weird. The rosemary's weird. Irish coffee. Yeah, people could be drinking that. And DJ, I would never assume with you. Maybe you're having some Sambuca. I don't know. So, I've done Tipsy Tuesday from here before. It was the second episode of Tipsy Tuesday. So I guess about 3 months ago. It's when I first told the Robert Smith story, and I thought it was a really good episode. You watched it, right?
Yeah.
It was really, really good. And then I ran over an hour, and I didn't know this at the time, but Instagram, if you go over an hour, will kick you off. And so I was on Instagram then, and so the whole thing just erased, and I was never able to share it or post it. And so people kept wanting me to retell the story, which I did a couple weeks ago. But I thought I would also bring you back to this bar so that you could see the amazing view. And we're wearing sunglasses now because the sun is over there, but it'll be set in a few minutes, and then you can take them off. Otherwise, we're going to be squinting because it's really bright. Actually, yeah, it's really bright. But I thought that today we could talk about life in Rome, because I've talked about my life in Rome, and a lot of people were saying like, oh, what does Christina think of that, and how does she react to this? And so I thought we would do that again, but from her perspective, or from our perspective, so it's not just me. And then if you have questions, you can ask, because you've never been able to ask her questions before, and now she's here. What else? Oh, virus updates. I always like to tell virus updates. It's bad. It's really bad. It's really bad here. Now, the strain, they still say isn't as severe as last time, but the hospitals in some regions are starting to fill up. I think they said they're at like 49% and 45% is dangerous or something. I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are. And so there are some regions that have already been completely locked down, and a few more were added today. Rome is still in the okay region, so all we have here is, what do we have?
Curfew at 10. Restaurants and bars close at 6. That's about it. Oh, I don't think we can travel.
Museums. No museums.
No museums.
No museums. They recommend that we don't take buses or metro unless it's necessary, and travel between regions. It's suggested that we don't, but it's not. They're not telling us not to. They just said you shouldn't, unless you have to.
And they added 4 new regions into the orange from yellow.
Orange or red?
I think it's orange.
Oh.
Maybe it is into red.
I don't know. Red is not where you want to be. You don't want to be in red. Yellow is fine. I don't think there's a green.
No, it's yellow is the least
Lowest.
severe.
Yeah.
Orange is moderate, and then red is lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So hopefully we stay.
yellow. I don't mind the yellow, to be
I
honest.
don't like the places closing early.
Well, yeah, I don't like the restaurants closing early.
I don't
but
mind the curfew.
yeah, the curfew doesn't affect me at all because I'm usually asleep by 10. And
It's quiet.
yeah, we live on a busy street, and so there's about 20 restaurants or bars like right outside our window. And when I go to sleep, it's usually really loud. So I don't mind the quiet in the evenings, but I do hope that the restaurants survive a second wave. The restaurant across the street from us, that's usually pretty crowded during normal times, it really hasn't recovered well. They've been open since the quarantine lifted, but then as of yesterday, they've been closed. And some days they only had like one table for lunch, and then of course closed for dinner. So that's bad. There's more people arriving.
More graduates. Must have been a graduation today.
Yeah, the graduates here, when they graduate, I'm going to turn you around for a second and show you this girl, if you can see her. She's wearing a laurel wreath on her head. I don't know if you can see her. Sorry, because of the sun. That's why we didn't sit on that side.
But here, when someone graduates from college, they wear these laurel wreaths, and they just wear them all around Rome for the
People
day.
clap for them, and
It's a big deal.
yeah.
I told Amelia I wanted to buy her one when she graduates high school. And she said, oh no, it's just for college. And I said, well, I homeschool you. I can do what I want. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah. Oh, you could see her? Good. All right, so let's talk about when we first moved over, because that was a shock.
Yes. Yes, it was. when we first arrived in our apartment, I literally sat in our new kitchen and said, we've made a big mistake. This is bad.
Did you cry?
I did cry.
Yeah, I didn't cry.
I think I sat down on the floor and cried.
Yeah, because we came from. Oh, there's 3 graduates here. We came from a house, and I told the story about this before. I'll give you the short version. It was a rental because we didn't know where we wanted to live, and so we moved into this neighborhood, and this guy who owns a bunch of like Jiffy Lube type places. I don't know if it's Jiffy Lube, but it's something similar. He lives in this big seaside mansion in Florida, but he had some locations in Georgia, so he had a residence there. So he built this really nice house for him and his wife, where they would just come up like one weekend a month or something, and which is crazy. That'd be nice. But really nice house. And then right after he did that, this even nicer house in the same neighborhood went into foreclosure, and so he bought that house for cheaper than the house that he just built. And so he was just going to sit on the house he built until the economy got better. I guess this was like 10, 11 years ago. I don't know. And then when we were looking for a house, the agent said, let me check one more place. And she called the guy, and he said, oh, sure, I'll rent it out. And so he rented out to us for like basically nothing. And so we were in this really nice house for super cheap, basically just so he would have enough money to cover the taxes on it or something. And so it had a really nice kitchen, like
2 ovens.
2 ovens, a
Had this
microwave.
Microwave.
It's a luxury item.
It had a really nice freezer too, like in a refrigerator. Remember those?
Yeah, we had a real freezer. We had a dryer,
Really nice washer dryer.
washer and dryer.
All this nice furniture. It was great. It was huge.
Yeah, it was too big for us, really.
Yeah, too big, but
But it was nice and big, and we could control the heat and air.
yeah, whenever you wanted, you could turn the heat on. If you were cold, it didn't matter if it wasn't time yet. You could just put it on.
Yeah, so when we moved here, the guy that I use, the hotel I use for most of my groups in Rome, he owned a bed and breakfast, and he just let us stay there for like 4 months. I mean, we paid him, but he just basically gave it to us. And so it was 3 big bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. It was 3 bathrooms. And then a sitting room / dining room / kitchen.
Okay, the sitting room, dining room, kitchen was smaller than the kitchen in the house that we just left. That is why I was sitting on the floor crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And no, I'll wait a few more minutes. And the so the kitchen in the new place.
it
you
had
remember
it didn't have a stove. It had like 2 little burner plates.
Like hot plates.
Hot plates, yeah. So you couldn't fit more than 1 pan. So I only could cook things in 1 pan.
Yeah, they were small. They're like both this size, and they were practically touching. So
Really, I used it
obviously
as
you
one.
can't. Yeah,
big
you
one.
just use it as one.
So I had to get really creative. I wasn't even a very good cook at the time, so it was hard for me to even get creative with that. I didn't know what to do with that. So we ate it out a lot at,
Yeah.
at the beginning
We did eat that a lot.
because I didn't know what to do with that. We didn't have a refrigerator or freezer. We had a dorm size refrigerator. No,
No, that wasn't the Coca-Cola thing.
that was the
no,
Coca-Cola thing, wasn't it?
No, the Coca-Cola thing was just like the pantry.
Did we have a refrigerator?
Yeah, we
did,
had a
didn't
little. It was like dorm room size.
Dorm room
It
size,
was really tiny.
okay.
Like you couldn't even buy the big milk. We had to buy
That's
the
right,
little
we had
milk.
to buy the little milks because it wouldn't fit.
You know, like the kind you would get in school. You just open it up and, like, that's all that would fit in there. And so that we couldn't cook anything with leftovers because there was no room to store
And we
leftovers.
had a toaster oven.
We
That's
did,
it.
yeah. That we didn't have an oven, just a toaster oven.
Do you see why I cried?
Yeah. And we mentioned the heat and air, so we didn't have air conditioning there. Well, we didn't need it because we moved over in January. I don't think it had. Did it have air? I think he did have air there. He did. He had air conditioning units, but it didn't matter. We didn't
I
use
don't
it.
remember that.
But the heat that we had was only on from, I think it was
11 p.m. No.
It went off at 11
It went
p.m.
off at 11.
It came on at 4 p.m. maybe, or
Yeah.
6. It was something like that. Because most people aren't at home all day, and so it was radiator heat. And the saddest sound in the world was at 11, because you could kind of hear
Like,
the radiator for the whole building shutting down. It kind of like shook a little bit, and you knew that it was going to be cold the rest of the night.
he used to go stand in front of it and get that last few
Yeah.
seconds of heat that came out of it
Uh-huh.
until it got cold, and then he would just be so sad.
Yeah. And then it was really hard because it was like the coldest winter in Rome in a long time. And so
We
this
weren't
was
used to the cold
January,
at all.
February, and I worked from home and she teaches the kids, and so we were always home or we were out. There was no way to ever get warm. So that was tough. And so we did eat out all the time. We didn't really have a choice. We'd go out for breakfast, go out for lunch. We'd go to the Forno place for breakfast.
Hmm.
And we'd go out for lunch. Then we'd go out for dinner. And then after a couple of months, we were like, we don't have any more money. Because, if you're going out to eat 3 times a day, 7 days a week with a family of 4, that adds up.
I could make some things. I mean, the
No,
toaster
we did,
oven, I
but-
was able to heat up things. So, not every day.
It was a lot though.
It was a lot.
And plus, it was just the excitement of being here and being able to go
Yeah, there was a lot
eat
of
out.
gelato in those
A
early
lot of
days.
gelato. Yeah. And we didn't have a coffee maker or anything, so we'd go out for cappuccino every day.
Yeah.
Oh, remember there was that place across from us they'd play the Cuban music until like, there's this weird
Yeah, that was a weird place.
bar/restaurant right across the street, and they stayed open until I think like 4 or 5 a.m. and they would have these big parties of like Cuban music, loud. And she's Cuban, so. But
So
she
that
did,
was nice, but still annoying.
and then they would close for 1 hour, and then they would open up as like this touristy cafe, and they play like different kinds of music. So it was like loud nonstop. And then we went there for coffee a couple times, and they would charge like,
€8.
it was
It
€8
was expensive.
for a cappuccino. That's like $10 for a coffee.
We didn't do that.
No, it was
After
just like,
after that one time for me, that was it.
yeah. Yeah, we learned our lesson. And so a lot of people ask about the kids and schooling.
So I homeschool. I have one in 6th grade and one in 10th grade, and I've been homeschooling for 7 years. And it's kind of been one bright spot for me with this whole pandemic thing, because there's so many changes going on and so many hardships a lot of people are facing about schools and how to deal with the Zooms, and nothing's changed for us.
Just
as far
normal.
as school goes. I had some trouble getting my books this year because I wasn't able to go back to the States. Usually I do a big book order in the summer and I go back and I pick everything up and take it. But I had a hard time this year with the books. A lot of curriculum was sold out because so many
Everybody's
people
switching to homeschool.
switched to homeschool, so I had a hard time with that. But other than that, it hasn't really changed for us, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the homeschooling here. It seems a lot easier than the Zoom homeschooling.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad that we have that already all set up.
And homeschooling's not really a thing here. So whenever we tell the kids, or the kids tell their friends, or we tell people that we homeschool, they don't really understand it. They don't get it. But now, because of the virus stuff here, a lot of families understand more. Not all of them, but some of them get it. And so the kids are, like a lot of the Italian kids are loving the homeschool stuff, and they're kind of jealous of our kids now. Amelia does want to go to school here, like university. So,
She's open to university in America, though.
well, she's open to whatever.
Yeah. She thinks it might be fun because they are different. The schools here, I think high schools in Italy compared to high schools in America are very different. So it'd be a different experience. I guess it just ends up where she decides she wants to stay.
We have a couple more years.
Yeah, two, just two.
Couple.
It's not very long to figure it out.
No, it's not long. It'll be fine. It'll all work out.
It'll all work out.
Yeah. So, you do most of the grocery shopping.
Yes.
And people are all, like on my pilgrimages, the women always want to know about the grocery shopping. The men don't care. I think the grocery shopping's interesting. But women always want to know like what the grocery stores are like, and so what are the grocery stores like?
They're small. Like I used to go to Publix in the States, and now when I go on a visit and I go to Publix, it's kind of too much for me and I have to leave because it's just too many choices.
I had a
It's-
panic attack.
Yeah,
Do
he
you
had a
remember that?
panic attack. He had a list his parents gave him of like 20 things. And he was standing there. I went to go get a couple things. I came back and he's standing there next to the cheese section and he's holding this list and he's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what this is. I don't know.
And like I do grocery, like when we lived in the States, I did most of the grocery
Yeah, you
shopping.
did almost all of it.
And here I do grocery shopping. No, she does most of it, but like it's not that I was just overwhelmed being in a grocery store. It was just that there were too many choices. And after years being here, I was not ready for that. I went to the grocery store again like a couple of days later and I was fine, but it was just that first time seeing so much cereal.
Do you know that there are probably 20 types of Raisin Bran?
I did not
20.
know that. How much cereal do we have here?
In our big grocery store, there's maybe 8 or 9 different kinds of cereals.
Like total, not
Total.
Raisin Bran.
Yeah, total. There isn't even
Total.
Raisin Bran here.
There's not a cereal aisle.
Yeah, it's a cereal,
Like
2
shelf.
little shelves. That's it.
That's the big grocery store.
That's the big grocery store. The little one has like 4.
Yeah. And it's like that with everything. So, peanut butter, we have the one you usually go to. We have
2. I think
2.
2 different brands. Cheese. Well, there's a lot of pasta. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's like an entire aisle of pasta. You can get any shape really that you want, all different brands. But
So-
cereal, like
what are some? We just had a question.
Oh.
What are some staples you buy here in Rome?
staples. Pecorino cheese, Parmesan cheese, 3 or 4 different pasta shapes because the pasta shape's important. Tomatoes, lots of tomatoes, canned tomatoes, whole
Chickpeas.
tomatoes, chickpeas.
Because I like chickpeas.
Blueberries. I go through a lot of blueberries.
I eat a lot of blueberries.
A lot of fruit. A lot of fruit.
We don't have a pantry, so we can't really stock up on stuff.
I go every day to the grocery store. Every single day. And there's
Yeah.
not just one grocery store, there's 3 that I go to. Because if I'm making something in particular that I need particular ingredients, the big grocery store does not have a certain kind of cheese I need, or it doesn't have a certain kind of something. So I have to stop and go to this other grocery store to get that. Like even if we make salad, we eat a lot of salads, only one grocery store has the kind of purple cabbage for it. So I have to go to that one to get cabbage. If I want potatoes, I have to go to a certain grocery store because otherwise I'm buying a giant sack of potatoes.
If we want ground beef or something like hamburgers,
I have
that
to go
only
to
comes from one.
the big grocery store for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So it's
and by big
it's
grocery
different.
store, I mean it's like 3 aisles. It's not big.
Yeah, the big grocery store we go to is like a typical gas station market. Like if you go to like a Quick Trip or
Well,
something,
it's a little nicer
maybe
than
2 Quick
that.
Trips.
It's
Well, I mean,
like-
it's nicer,
like-
but it's
It's
like
probably
that
like a
size.
mini market.
But
Maybe
it's that size.
bigger than a mini market.
I don't know what a mini market is.
Like a bodega.
I don't know what a bodega is. I don't live in New York.
It's like a New York bodega.
They don't
basically.
all live in New York.
It's not big. It's like 3 aisles. It has this fishmonger when you first walk in with all these different kinds of fishes, and then it has this
Lots of wine
Lots of wine
for cheap.
Very nice wine.
Good
section.
wine.
Good wine.
Like there was, just as an example, there's a wine that we like here that is, I think it's like €5 or €6 a bottle. It's expensive. And
Yeah,
then
that's expensive for here.
a couple years ago, we were visiting her parents in Miami for our anniversary, and we went to some steak place, and we saw that wine on the menu, and I was like, oh, let's get this. It'll be like we're back in Rome. And it was like €60 or $60 for the same bottle that here we get for like, I guess it would be like
€7 maybe.
like $8 a bottle. And of course, it's like restaurant prices too, but like wine is so
even in Publix.
cheap. Well, yeah, in
They
Publix
have
too.
the wine that I always get is here, and it was 3 or 4 times the price in Publix. So that's a nice thing about Rome, the cheap wines. Anyway, after the wine, then you get to the fruits and vegetables, which are great. They have a nice selection of fruits and vegetables.
And
all
here
kinds
you
of
still
stuff.
have to like plug in the number and weigh your fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, I didn't know that the first couple times, and the cashier lady was yelling at me in Italian, and I had no idea what she was saying, and I think I just like put my stuff down and ran out of there. I didn't know what to do. But then I learned that you're supposed to weigh it and put the number in because it prints out this little sticker. Then after that, you have like 3 aisles of typical grocery store things like pastas and your cereals and your rice and stuff like that. And then the meat section's really
Don't forget
nice.
the peanut butter.
2 peanut butters,
2 types of Skippy.
2 types.
No, Jiffy. Is it Jiffy or Skippy?
Skippy.
Skippy.
And then breads, lots of breads. They have a bread guy that gives you lots of different kinds of breads. And that's that.
But it's really small.
yeah, small.
It's really small. And then we used to go to the market. So it's the Trionfale market, which is right behind the Vatican Museums. And I think it's the biggest market in Rome, and it's closed in. So it's like in a big warehouse. But now it's like
It's
a
too
15-minute walk away, so it's too far. That's the other thing, we don't have a car.
Yeah, no car.
No car. So that means when you go to the grocery store, you have to carry everything back.
Yes, and I have a granny cart.
We
one of
call
those
it a
little-
granny cart. I don't think they know that it's called
Oh.
a
It's
that
one
we
of those
call
little
it a-
rolly carts. that
You
all the
see like all the
grannies here
nonas
have.
rolling this big cart behind them.
Yeah, so I have one of those.
We call it a granny cart.
And
That's
I
not
only
the official name.
I use that only when I'm buying a lot of things. It's like a big trip to the market, to the supermarket. I take that.
Yeah, that's
Otherwise-
like maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah. When I'm getting heavy stuff, lots of wine, when I'm refilling our wine stock, I'll bring that. And
Aperol stock.
yeah. So that's our grocery store. But I go every day. At least one store every day.
And you mentioned the cheese. So there's a lot of cheese here, but there's not cheddar cheese.
Not cheddar cheese. That's like my
Wine twice a week.
cheddar cheese is like my weakness. I go crazy over cheddar cheese, and it's so hard to come by here. And it's easier now than it used to be. I mean, now I see it every once in a blue moon. I'll see it, and when I do, I'll get it. And
It's really expensive.
it's really expensive, but it's so good too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
taco night is
Taco
like,
night's
is
an extravagance for us.
Yeah, that's an expensive night here in Rome
yeah, because of the cheese.
because of the cheddar. It's like a block like this big is what, like 20 something euro or something?
Oh, not that much. Like 14,
Okay.
12.
I was off by
maybe.
5. It's expensive. It's a lot more expensive than getting a pound of shredded Kraft cheddar at the grocery store.
But it's really good though.
It is really good.
It's not Kraft.
It's smooth and it's fresh. But we do have like 800 varieties of mozzarella and
Parmesan,
Parmesan,
Pecorino's really big in Rome, so
yeah.
that.
And yeah, the Parmesan, we have so many varieties that you can get it that's aged for like 8 years and
I'd buy the 30 month.
30 months.
30
And then I
month
complained. I was
aged.
like, why didn't you get the 45 month?
It's too young for him. He wants 45. He wants 8 years.
Yeah, I'm spoiled on Parmesan cheese now.
I don't tell the difference, honestly.
So, what groceries do you miss from the state? Oh, and can you send us?
Oh, Altoids.
Outside of
it's funny you say
Altoids.
that because
Yeah, because of the quarantine, we haven't been back to the States. You haven't been back in almost a year.
over a year, I think.
No, you
about
were
a
there
year.
for Thanksgiving.
A year, yeah.
I haven't been back since February, and that's usually when we do our American grocery stock. So, yeah, Altoids. I love like the peppermint Altoids, and so I haven't had those in months.
We're resorting to Tic Tacs.
Tic Tacs and Mentos.
That's all we can get here. No
Yeah.
Altoids.
No Altoids, and you need Altoids now with masks.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I would go back to the States, and besides bringing an entire suitcase of school supplies and books and highlighters, and they don't sell Sharpies here, so I have to bring my own Sharpies from the States because the kids steal them. So I have to keep bringing more. Besides a whole suitcase for school supplies, I have a whole suitcase for food. So I bring back, this is awful, but Kraft macaroni and cheese because sometimes it's just so good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a McDonald's cheeseburger that you sometimes need.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't.
What else would we bring back? Altoids, like boxes. Big
I used to
boxes
bring
of
back
them.
Cliff Bars,
Cliff bars.
the big builders bars.
Cookie mixes, chocolate chip cookie mixes and cake mixes, things like that are not. You can find them here. They're very, very expensive and no variety at all. Like cupcake mixes, things like that.
You used to bring back Raisin Bran too,
Raisin Bran.
but you have a connection now.
I have a connection for
Yeah.
my Raisin Bran, an embassy connection. So every so often I'm able to get a box of Raisin Bran.
Yeah, we have some friends at the embassy, and sometimes they go to the base in Naples, and there's a big grocery store there, and so they can bring back some stuff for us.
Pop-Tarts. Kids are liking the Pop-Tarts lately.
Pop-Tarts.
Lily didn't have her first Pop-Tart till a few years ago. And
I do the Italian breakfast. I don't do like
Well, we don't normally do that.
Pop-Tarts and Raisin Bran.
That's every once in a while. We don't normally do that. For breakfast, I eat yogurt and that's it.
They had waffles today and cinnamon rolls
From
the other day.
IKEA. IKEA sells waffles, so I've been getting those. They're good too.
Pastry and coffee. That's
I
all
usually
you need.
don't eat breakfast at all, and neither do the kids really.
What else do you miss from America?
Target. Target has everything, and you can go in and get everything all at once. You can get some food stuff. You can get pens. You can get what else? What else?
Kathy mentions Reese's.
Oh, Reese's peanut butter cups. Yeah, they sold them here for a short time. I saw them in our grocery store.
We
for
bought
like
so many.
for like a month, and I was so excited. I was buying them every time I buy the boxes. I was just buying them all, and then they've disappeared.
You don't usually see that kind of American candy. You get like we have Snickers
Kit
and
Kats.
Mars
We have Kit Kats
and
too.
Kit Kats, but that's about it. American candy, M&Ms, but just peanut and chocolate.
We don't have
all the
peanut butter,
fancy-
which is my favorite.
Yeah.
Peanut butter M&Ms. I'm okay with the Italian candy and chocolate. I mean, after tasting the American chocolate again, I really do prefer the Italian, so I'm okay with that. But for a while, I was bringing back candy also.
Yeah, the Italian. So Laura is asking, the Italian breakfast is it like the? Isn't it just like a Pop-Tart? I guess kind of.
Kinda. It's
Kind
like,
of.
well, when the kids go to
Sugary and sweet.
When the kids go to camp, they have tea and cookies for breakfast. That's what the camp leaders give them.
Yeah, that's what I guess the kids eat.
Yeah.
Tea and cookies.
So they eat sugary.
No, I know,
Stuff, too.
but Pop-Tart. I don't know.
Every once in a while, Pop-Tarts, okay.
They adjusted, thinking Italy is better. That's how I am. I think just adapt to where you are and enjoy the
But
pastry
there
and
are
coffee.
some things, like
All
sometimes
I miss, and I don't even really miss it anymore. The thing I miss most was Chipotle.
Chipotle. But we
Tex-Mex.
have a place now.
Yeah, and we had it last night, burritos. So I really missed burritos and Tex-Mex. But a couple years ago, a place opened here that sells like Chipotle, so like big burritos. So I don't miss Chipotle anymore. I mean, I'll still go when I'm there. And then the other thing I miss is Starbucks. I
Yeah.
probably said that too loud
Everyone,
because there are no Starbucks here. I don't miss the coffee. I miss the frou-frou drinks like peppermint mocha because sometimes it's just fun.
yeah. I used to love Christmas time, peppermint mocha.
The red cups.
Baking was a challenge if you used American recipes. Yes. They don't have vanilla here. Like
No?
the liquid. No,
Really?
I bring my own from the States.
I didn't know that.
They sell vanilla in a powder, and it's really, really no good. So I have to bring vanilla from the States. Brown sugar is extremely hard to find here. Sometimes I'll find it.
I found it.
You found it, but it's very hard to find. They don't have it all the time. That's why I like those cake mixes and cookie mixes because it's just easier. Everything's in it. It may not be the best, but it's good. Yeah.
So,
This
you,
is strong.
I know. You talked about what you miss. What do you like about
What
living
do I
here?
like? I like the food, for sure.
What's your
Italian, my favorite dish?
Sure.
Amatriciana, probably. Carbonara, lasagna, all the pastries, all the cappuccino, all that stuff. Aperitivi, everything. I like the food. The food and the drink is the best.
And you can make a matriciana.
I can. That's the one I perfected. I think I'm really happy with my matriciana. These poor guys, like they ask, what do you want to do for dinner this week? What are you gonna make? I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a matriciana again.
And Lily's like, again? We had it this week already.
Yeah.
It is. It's really good. A matriciana is really good. And I mentioned that for my patrons, she is going to cook a matriciana on, like, live.
Live.
Are you
We'll see.
nervous?
Yes, very. There's a reason. This is the very first time I've been on one of these because
Are you nervous on the camera?
I'm nervous on camera and I don't like to be on camera. So, but I'll do it. I'll do it for a patron event. I think it'll be fun.
Oh, what is a matriciana?
It's a dish with typically with bucatini, pasta, sometimes spaghetti, guanciale, tomatoes.
What's guanciale?
Guanciale is pig cheek
Cheek meat.
meat. It's very.
It's hard to
good.
find in America, actually.
It's kind of like bacon, but not really.
Yeah.
And pecorino cheese and wine. What else is in it?
Wine? I don't know what's in it. I don't make it.
I think that's it.
It's actually one of my least
and
favorite.
red peppers.
One of my least favorite pastas. Like I never order that in a restaurant, but I really like hers, and I always taste hers in restaurants, and hers is better than what I've tried.
Well, don't tell them that because I'm probably doing it wrong.
No, you're doing it right.
Okay.
What else? And then you're also working on carbonara.
Yes, my carbonara is almost there. Lily really likes my carbonara, but I think it's just not. It's not a Brutzzi's yet.
Yeah, so Abruzzi is one of our favorite restaurants, which we haven't been to since before the quarantine started.
February is the last time I went there.
Yeah. No, March. My group was here in March, right?
March.
No.
I think it was February. Your group was
Maybe
here
it
in
was.
February.
Yeah. So, yeah, pork jowl. She is working on the carbonara, and you made it a couple times, and it was really good.
Thank you.
I liked it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think she's perfected it. So maybe we'll do that cooking class too.
I'll take cooking classes. I can do lasagna too, but that's like a all-day thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, because you make some of the pasta too.
Yeah, we hand make the pasta. Lily does. I don't. I make the meat. I make the what else is in it?
I don't know. DJ says don't be nervous. You're a natural.
Oh, thank you. It's the very berry.
Well, then we'll have to get you a very berry before you make the carbon or the matriciana.
Amatriciana.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, of course, I love the food here too. So Christina's been following like Italian food websites that
Yeah.
laugh about.
Oh, there's a site on Facebook, a group called Italians Mad at Food. It is the funniest thing ever. Just because they'll take a picture they see of some recipe that the Americans are passing around, and they'll just be like, "What is this? What are they doing? What are those Americans doing?" It's the best group. But I've actually learned a lot because there are a lot of Italians on the group, so they'll tell you how to really make it. So I've learned a lot from this group. But it's also fun to laugh at the
Like some of the
stuff.
the ways people tweak the recipes. Like carbonara here is just egg, guanciale, pecorino, parmesan.
You can mix Parmesan in there too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
And pepper,
it's-
that's it.
But in America, it's always like peas and
Cream,
sometimes you'll see like
broccoli,
chicken,
chicken.
and that's not it. Like that's a completely different dish.
That's not
And so it's
carbonara.
like a funny website about the food in Italy. So when we make a matriciana, she's going to show you how the Italians do it, even though she's not Italian. Do you remember what the site name is?
It's the group is called Italians Mad at Food, and the little picture on the group is a hand doing this. So easy to find.
Oh, she just found the group.
Okay, good. Yeah, you can learn a lot from this group though. It's a good group. It's
Yeah, I mean
funny,
it's funny and it's kind of
but it's educational.
poking fun, but at the same time, yeah,
Yeah.
educational.
Yeah. So
We had a question a minute ago about travel. So besides our normal tours, what else like do we travel around? And we talked about this on the way over, that she has a group of friends that travel around.
we did a yearly.
And
trip.
neither of them are here right now, I don't think.
Oh, that's okay. We do a yearly trip, or we did a yearly trip.
Not
We
this
went
year.
to Ireland one year. We did an Italy trip. I think we did that twice. Where else did we go?
France?
France. We did Paris. And we were going to do Portugal. We were looking at doing Lisbon for our friend trip, and obviously that didn't happen. But it's a lot of fun because I just meet them wherever we are, and we stay in bed and breakfast, and we just hang out. It's fun, and
Yeah, and we've done a few family trips. So when she was with her friends in Ireland, I took the girls to Ireland. Well, we just did Dublin. They did all of Ireland, and we met up with them. And then when your friends left, we
we stayed in Dublin.
stayed in Dublin for a few more
little
days.
longer.
And then I've taken them on some of my group pilgrimages to France and Jordan.
Jordan was fun.
What was your favorite thing in Jordan?
Camel. We got
Rode
to
a camel.
My favorite thing to do in Jordan was we had one day where we went out to the Wadi Rum desert in jeeps, which was so cool. And then
It's a highlight.
Then we stayed in this Bedouin camp where
In a
you're
tent.
like in a tent, but it's not like a tent the scouts would camp out in. It was like a really nice fancy tent with a bathroom attached and everything. And it's just right by this big mountain, this big cliff looking thing, and just out in the middle of the desert. It was really neat. No phones, no
Yeah,
internet
cell
service
service.
at all.
You can see the Milky Way because there's no
Beautiful at night.
electricity. Like
Just
we're on a
beautiful.
generator.
And then the next day, we got back in the jeeps, went further or closer out of the desert. I don't know.
It depends on the trip, but yeah, the one that she was on, we drove like back towards the main like civilization
Civilization.
because this particular place was like way in the middle of nowhere, and the
And-
camels don't go that far. Very
And
lazy
then
camels.
We got to ride the camels, which was both the most terrifying and fun thing I've ever done. It's so fun.
I did not do it. I went with the
sad.
non-camel riders.
Amelia
in the
did
Jeeps.
it,
Yeah.
and Lily wanted to do it, but she was too small.
Yeah.
So maybe next time. But that was definitely a highlight.
And we've done a family trip to Spain and Portugal with your
Portugal,
parents and your
yeah.
brother. And we took my parents to Paris. We went to London. Yeah, so we haven't, like when we moved over, before I moved over, I was like, oh, we're going to travel to like all these countries. We're going to see everything. And then we moved here and like it was just real life, like going to the grocery store. I have to go to
School.
work and school.
Yeah.
And so we didn't travel as much as we thought we were going to travel, but we've still, as a family, since we've been here, traveled more than probably most people. And it's really because it's really cheap once you're here. Like even from the States, once you get to Europe, traveling within Europe is really cheap. You can sometimes find flights for like 15, 20 euro. And it's just really easy to do.
Yeah. And thankfully we get to tag along with him on at least parts of his pilgrimages. Like usually we'll get to come to the Assisi portion of a pilgrimage, and that's a lot of fun, just to hang out with the people. And
People usually like it too.
yeah, it's fun.
They like to see that you exist,
Yeah,
and the kids.
because I'm always on the other side of the camera. So It's fun. Yeah, we've done a lot of traveling. There's so many places I want to go still that we haven't gone yet, and hopefully Greece. Well, I've been to Greece, but I want the kids to go. And
You went to like Santorini, right?
Santorini and Athens,
For like an hour.
and Mykonos. I was on a cruise, so a little while. Turkey.
Yeah, I want to go to Turkey. I've been to Turkey. I've been to Ephesus. That's it.
Yeah. So there's still some places I need to go.
So once the world reopens and I have a job again,
Yeah.
we'll try to do that. After we go to America, we have to go to
Yes.
America first.
Won't it be crazy to go to America after all this time? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the kinds of Raisin Bran you must have now that are new that I don't even know about. I can't wait to see.
Does Rome have Christmas markets? Rome has, in Piazza Navona, a really, really bad Christmas market. So there's a nice carousel, and they set up a few booths with some
Cheap
toys.
plastic stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple like local artisans that put stuff in there, like some
It used
nativity
to be
stuff.
really good.
Yeah, and then there are a couple other piazzas that have Christmas markets. There's nothing like Germany and Austria and France.
I was
which is
going to
unfortunate.
mention this earlier, like when we were talking about traveling. My favorite thing to do, and the thing I look forward to most of all, is our Christmas market trip every year.
Yeah,
We've gone to Vienna. Gosh, I don't even know where all we've gone.
Salzburg,
Salzburg,
Munich,
Munich,
Lindau.
Lindau. Lindau was nice. We've been to a
You
lot
went
of
to Strasbourg.
different places for Christmas markets, and it's just so much fun. Just walking around and having the hot wine and having all the little desserts, and
Sausages.
street food that all the
Yeah,
markets
that's something we look
have.
forward to all year.
And it's
and not this
sadly
year.
not this year.
Yeah, so Kathy talks about the nativity. So while Rome doesn't have really good Christmas markets, they do have nativities. So all the churches of Rome set up nativities, and I'll share a lot of that once it starts in Advent. They go all out for their nativities, so that's fun to do, to go look at all of those. What else? The sun is setting. I want to show you. I'm going to turn the camera around again, so hold on a second. And if you have any questions for us, let me know, and we'll answer those in a second. Hi, Kathleen. So this is our view for the bar today. We're just over Piazza Navona. Behind this umbrella here, I'll move so you can see. You'll see the dome of St. Peter's. You can see just to the right of that umbrella, or whatever it is, St. Peter's Basilica. You can see the sun is setting. This bar is usually packed, but there's not a lot of people visiting Rome right now, so it's kind of quiet. This dome here is San Agnese, Church of St. Agnes. In this church, they have her skull. This is the bell tower. I wish they would have rung the bells while we were here, but they didn't. And then in the distance, you can kind of make out the mountains way back there. See a bell tower, that's Capitol Hill. That big white monument back there is the Victor Emmanuel Monument. Just beside that is where St. Helena is buried. In the center here, you'll see the Pantheon, a kind of flat dome. I took you in there last week. Below us is Piazza Navona. You can see the little starling birds flying in the sky. They make these crazy formations every night. They're the place where they, I don't know if you say roost or whatever, where they would sleep. It was right by our apartment, but the locals put some stupid speakers up, so now we just hear fake bird sounds all night. So down there, that is Piazza Navona. You can see just part of it, one of the fountains. You can see the obelisk here. It's on top of Bernini's fountain. The back of that church there, you can kind of see that brownish triangle. That is San Luigi. That's where they have they have 3 Caravaggios. The church where St. Monica is buried is right over there behind that bell tower. That's the Tribunale. That's kind of the courthouse. The big bell tower there is the German church. And now we're back to the bar. And there are a lot of people here that have just graduated. You can see that girl there with the laurel on her head. So the graduates here wear laurels and walk around the city. I'm going to turn you around again. And we're back. Oh, we had a question. I don't remember what it was. Kathleen says hi.
Hi.
Sandra. So you're going to start a camp. Sandra says they're going to start a camp in the Wadi Rum if the U.S. doesn't work out. Just go live out there.
That's not a bad idea. It's
I'm
fun out
sure the
there.
Bedouins would love it.
Yeah.
Having some American women
Amelia
out there.
wanted to just stay with the Bedouins. She loved it out there.
Yeah, she did. Sharon says, does Italy feel like home, or do you still feel like you're visiting?
Both. Some days it does feel like home, and then some days it doesn't. It just some days it just feels like I'm kind of here temporarily, and I'm not fully here. So I'd say both. And some days, a lot of times when I'm traveling from America back here, I would feel like, oh, I'm home, you know. So that's both.
You're home in two places.
Yes, my home is in two places.
Three
I mean,
places.
I really, really miss America. I miss a lot of the conveniences about America. And my parents, obviously, my family in America. So that's really hard.
You don't miss my parents?
Of course, I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm not done. You know, all the family in
They
America.
watch, you know. Your parents don't even watch.
So I miss a lot about, and that's always going to make it home to me, you know, because our families are there. So
I feel home here. I feel at home here.
you can have two homes, though.
Yeah. But I still have like the awe of visiting. Like when I walk around. I'm
Here
still
or there?
here.
You don't feel
Not-
an awe in America?
Not
when
in
you-
not
when
walking
you walk
around
into Target
Douglasville.
or Publix.
No.
Like, ooh, Publix.
No.
I do. I like, wow, look at this variety.
No. Let's get what I need and
Look
get
at
out.
all these cereals.
And get
they
back to my
have.
parents' house as quickly as possible. Or Starbucks.
Yeah.
All right. What other questions do you have? Because we're almost at an hour here. No questions. No questions. We already answered that question. All right. What else did you said something? Oh, you like Italian culture?
Oh, yes. Italian culture. Italians are very relaxed about everything. And sometimes that's annoying, like when you need to get something done and they're just like, nah, I'm not going to
Or
open
like
right now.
internet?
Or internet. Oh, it took us 9 months to get our internet or something like that.
6 months.
6 months. So they're very relaxed in those kind of things. But at the same time, it's really nice to just see people sitting at a cafe for an hour, drinking a coffee and just talking. And I just don't see that when I go to America, when I visit. The first thing when we land, usually in Atlanta, it's just chaos right away. As soon as we land, it's just people just yelling and rushing and trying to get here and trying to get there. And I'm just like, just sit down and have a coffee. Calm down. So I really like the slow, kind of relaxed culture here.
Laid back.
Laid back, yeah.
And
So-
like where the Italians here, they'll just close down for a couple hours for lunch or take a nap.
Or they just won't open at all. Like sometimes the store they won't open. You know, maybe they had a really nice lunch and they didn't want to come back to work. I don't know. Sometimes it's annoying, but I really do appreciate it because I think it alleviates a lot of anger. I don't know. I kind of feel like when I look at America or when I'm there, I'm just like, you guys just, maybe you just need to have a coffee
And a nap.
and a nap, and everything will be better. So.
Yep. What was that question? Are you still doing your card business? So Christina is a graphic designer, and she had a business called Metro Baby Cards, where she did birth announcements, Christmas cards.
Invitations, things like that.
That
I
was-
have it still.
Actually, the way you started it was very interesting. Do you want to talk about that?
I got laid off from my job. right when I had Amelia.
She made ads for film companies.
Yes, I worked at a film company, advertising company.
Like, you did stuff for Lord of the Rings and Pixar movies and
Yeah, the ads.
the ads.
The ads. So the company was going through a big shuffle at the time.
They got bought, right?
Ye-
Didn't they get bought by somebody in LA?
I don't even remember.
I think that's what happened.
Anyway, so I got laid off. Basically, the whole ad department got laid off because
Except the boss and her daughter.
Right, because they moved production to the New York part. So anyway, this happened right before I had Amelia. So I kind of started I was doing her announcement, and I was trying to find what to do for her birth announcement, and I didn't find anything I liked. So I just made my own. And then I started putting them up on eBay and selling them, and that was just kind of to keep me busy until, I was done with the maternity leave part, and I wanted to start looking for a job. And then it actually started making a lot of money. So, and it was fun.
You were making more money doing Metro Baby cards than you did at the film. Yeah.
Advertising company, yeah. And during this time is when you were wanting
Starting
to start
this,
Catholic
yeah.
Traveler. So basically, my photo cards, birth announcements, and Christmas
It
cards
supported us for years.
us for a while. So that was pretty amazing because I thought it would just be a little, job here and there. To answer the question, I do still have the company. I do cards. I do orders every once in a blue
You get some
moon.
like regulars that want something.
Yeah, I need to. I really want to start it up again, but it's just been so long that I don't know how
But
to.
she started this like before all the big now you can go to Target and get photo birth
Yeah, at
announcements.
the time I
or
started this, there were no companies.
there's Tiny Prince is really big.
Tiny
right?
Prince. There was
Like
Tiny
your-
Prince and like two other big companies, and me, and that's it. That's like Target didn't even have cards, or they did, but they were very, very plain. I specialize in modern design, so all my stuff was modern. looking.
Modern birth announcements
Modern
for the
birth-
Metro Baby.
Yes, that was my tagline. So yeah, if you want me to do your Christmas cards, let me know because I can still do them even from here.
Yep. She's really good.
Thank you.
Ooh, I want to show you the birds. I'm going to turn you around so you can see the starlings flying over the city. If you like birds, it's really pretty. If you're afraid of birds, it's kind of scary.
Oh, that is kind of scary. Here they come.
You didn't know you were going to get a bird show tonight. Where did they go? I guess they left. I'll turn you back around. Kathy is asking about a car. No, we don't have a car, so when we travel, it's all by train. Or if it's with my groups, we have a bus. I have a bus that I use, a driver. So it's not hard to get around. We just don't do anything that we can't
It's
get to by
not easy
train.
to get to IKEA. That's an hour-long bus ride.
Yeah, when we go to IKEA, it takes a long time. That's like a whole
That's a whole day.
day. Is shipping and mailing as expensive? I guess. I don't know.
I have no idea. I haven't mailed anything from here.
We're going to be mailing stuff out soon, though.
Yes.
My patrons, like the top level, I send a care package twice a year. So that's coming up
Yeah.
in a few weeks.
I have some good ideas
Yeah.
for the packages.
If we get mail from the U.S., how do we get it? We get stuff sent directly to our apartment. And then, yeah, so like UPS or DHL or FedEx, even U.S. mail, it just goes straight into the U.S. Postal Service. So yeah, we get stuff from time to time. Packages do get to Italy. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it gets here like within a week, and sometimes it takes
3 months.
no.
One of the things we sent took 3 months. Or
It
my
got
books,
lost. That was
my school books.
that was a military shipment, so it got lost in the military
okay.
post. That wasn't like regular. Looking at the sunset behind us, everybody's taking pictures now, but it just looks normal. We do have an embassy connection. Yeah. The birds are beautiful. Everybody's looking at the stuff behind us. Like, you can see behind us. Look at all these people looking. They just all moved over here. I guess it's pretty. All right. Any more questions? Because now it's been an hour. Did you know you were going to talk for an hour?
No.
I told her that she was going to be on like 30 minutes before. So she didn't know she was going to be talking tonight.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be fun. Because people keep
I
asking to
thought
meet
I
her.
would just be drinking on the other side.
On the other side of the camera. Yeah. Yeah. Nope. Nope. All right, so I guess we'll wrap it up then if you don't have any other questions. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully next week we can again be outside and not from home. I keep thinking Tipsy Tuesday is going to be from my kitchen. And that's a possibility.
I can cook a matriciana while you're talking. and getting
You're doing that
tipsy.
tonight though. She's cooking a matriciana tonight.
I am, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. So, new podcast goes up Thursday, Second Cup Saturday on Saturday. Hopefully that won't be from home. Hopefully I can still go to cafes. And I'm also, because people keep asking, I'm going to start doing another thing that's like a walk around Rome. But I haven't decided yet if it's going to be live or if I'll film it. I think I'm probably going to film it. I think that might be better. I do live walks with patrons. I've done a couple of those. But I think that for regular walks around Rome, it might be better if I can edit it a bit. So we'll see. But something this week. So watch out for that. And I guess that's it. Thanks to all the patrons, because that's really helping us out right now.
Yes, thank you.
And yeah, Second Cup Saturday is still on. Unless, I mean, even if we get shut down, I'm still going to do Tipsy Tuesday and Second Cup Saturday. It'll just be from my apartment, which will be fun. And we do have a nice view over St. Peter's, so I can just go up to the roof and have coffee or a drink from the terrace. Yeah, so that's it. I'm going to end it, and I'll post this. It'll be on Facebook and Instagram. You can share it if you want. Thanks for watching, and ciao. Say ciao. Okay, bye.